LEGO Star Wars 2025 is just a couple of months away, and as 2024 wraps up, I thought it would be good to take a look at some more rumors and news that we have for LEGO Star Wars 2025. This is news about the ARC-170, this is news about the Ahsoka Jedi Starfighter, and some more news all coming up in today's video. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like and comment your thoughts down in the comment section below, and let's jump into all of the information. So first up here, we have 75401 Ahsoka's Jedi Interceptor coming in at $45 with 290 pieces, and it's a January 1st, 2025 release. This one includes 3 minifigures, being Ahsoka Tano from Season 5. This set is actually based from Clone Wars Season 5. It has Ahsoka Tano, it has R7, her astromech droid, which is a great return. The last time we saw one was like all the way back in 2010 or so in her Jedi Starfighter. So it's been a good minute since we last saw R7, so I am very excited for that. And then we're also getting a generic Clone Wars Anakin. It's not going to be the Clone Wars armor, it's not going to be the clone armor, it's going to be the generic Jedi robes Anakin. Now this is a bit of a disappointment because a lot of people were speculating whether or not we could actually see a Clone Wars armor Anakin in this set. It's been a good long time since we ever saw that, and so a lot of people were disappointed, and I think at $45 not a lot of people will be picking this set up. It's just way too expensive. The last Interceptor was just $30 back in 2020 with one less minifigure. This $45 price point is not that good of a thing for just 3 minifigures. But at the end of the day, you have free will whether or not you want to buy this set, so if you want to wait for a sale, I would totally recommend it. 20% off would be about $9 off. That's a lot of a better price than it would be for that $45 price point. 290 pieces is not that much either. It would be a very short building experience when you're paying $50 after tax. So really, buying this set at full price will not be worth it for a lot of fans. And next up here, we have the 75402 ARC-170 Starfighter. This one will retail for $70 with 297 pieces, releasing on January 1st, 2025. Now, this one is rumored to be including new Clone Pilot minifigures. So, as the last time we saw Clone Pilots was all the way back in 2014 in the V-Wing. But this is a great way for LEGO to be making some new molds for the helmets, as it's been a long minute since we last saw all the new Clone Pilots. And also, there's a small rumor going around that we could potentially see a Jedi. So this could either be Plo Koon or this could be Kit Fisto, potentially even Mace Windu or Anakin Skywalker, because he is a Jedi. So there's a rumor going around that there's a Jedi minifigure. Now take it all with a grain of salt, but just expect potentially a Jedi minifigure rumor to come out officially confirmed for this set in the coming weeks. We should be getting full information, including full minifigure lists for all of the sets that include minifigures for the January wave very soon now. So hopefully LEGO will decide to include a Jedi minifigure in this set, because that would definitely make a lot more people buy it, especially if it's a Jedi we haven't seen in a long time, like Kit Fisto or Plo Koon. The last time we saw one was in 2014. And for the people saying this was overpriced, the last ARC-170 had about 400 pieces and retailed for $60 all the way back in 2010. So adjusted for inflation, that's about $85 now. So in a way, this one is actually cheaper and more affordable than the previous one all the way back in 2010, about 15 years ago. And I'm really happy LEGO is remaking it. LEGO hasn't been paying a lot of attention to Revenge of the Sith recently. They've been making a lot of Clone Wars stuff, but not a lot of actual prequel film-based sets. So I really hope that this one is based off of Revenge of the Sith, but there is no official confirmation whether it is Clone Wars based or Revenge of the Sith based. My prediction is that it's going to be based off of Revenge of the Sith, based off of the opening scene of the Revenge of the Sith, or they can end up making it based off of the Order 66 scene and include a Plo Koon minifigure, so you could sort of shoot him down in his Starfighter that could potentially release later on in the year. And that is pretty much all of the new information. Now we're going to recap a few of the sets here. It's going to be 75403 Buildable Grogu and Pram. This one's coming in at $100 and a 1,048 piece count. Also a January 1st release. Now don't expect much from this set. It's probably going to be about a $50 500 piece Pram to go alongside a $40 500 piece Grogu. Now Grogu is smaller because he has a lot of smaller pieces that they could put into it and sort of pack it down. Don't expect this set to be any bigger than like the R2-D2 from this year. Just sort of just scale down. Just don't expect this to be a very good set. LEGO obviously has been making a lot of Grogu sets, a lot of Mandalorian sets recently. I do feel like that's a little bit overused by now. I think they could focus on to different things. Potentially we could even see some sequel sets in place of all the Mandoverse sets. I really would like to see some new sequel sets. Perhaps I'll even make a whole prediction video on that, but I just really hope that LEGO decides to make more sequel sets and sort of drop off of the Mandalorian, especially given the fact that we're getting a movie in 2026 and they could focus a lot more on the film-based sets rather on random Mandalorian buildable characters. And next up, we have the 75405 18 Plus Mini Scale Home 1 Starship. This one's coming in at $70 with 559 pieces. Also another January 1st release. So January 1st is sounding to be a very stacked release day with plenty of sets for adults and kids alike. I am excited for this one. I think the generic spaceship in the movies is a little bit boring, but I think LEGO would definitely make this one look pretty good. Perhaps they'll add some little white tiles or clear translucent tiles to make it seem like all the little windows in the Starship. Perhaps it will even be able to split open, or you could have a small little viewing cockpit that you could open up. I think that'd be a really cool feature for LEGO to include, given the fact that there's not much for people to buy it for. It's not as iconic as a Millennium Falcon or a Tantive 4, so they'll definitely have to add a play feature or two to make it a little more worthwhile for all of the generic fans. And next up, we have 75404 MIDI Scale Acclimator Set. This one is going to be our second-based prequel MIDI Scale set, coming in at $50 with 450 pieces, another January 1st release. Now, don't expect much from this one, only 450 pieces, as I believe it's going to be our smallest MIDI Scale set to date. So it's going to be a very small Dorito-sized ship. Really, it can only be maybe 10 studs long, if that, and maybe another 8 or so studs wide. So not a huge set, but I'm excited to see how LEGO does end up making this one, because I think there is a lot of hype around this one, and LEGO's definitely catching on to the Revenge of the Sith and all of the prequel hype. This one should go equally well with the Invisible Hand, although a lot of people would have preferred a Venator instead of the Acclimator to be releasing on January 1st, so you could definitely compare a Venator with the Invisible Hand. But nonetheless, I think a Acclimator will look pretty good on a lot of fans' display shelves, and it'll just fit in with a lot of the prequel stuff that LEGO's been putting out recently, because there hasn't been a lot of entire Venator set stuff aside from the UCS Venator, but this one should look pretty good on display next to the UCS Venator. And lastly here, we have the 75410 Din Djarin's N1 Starfighter. This one's going to be a 4+ set, so not a very big model, coming in at $30 with less than 100 pieces. This one's only going to have 92 pieces, and the last January 1st set of that's currently known. There could be more. Some of these could be delayed to maybe March or May. Obviously, if you remember from this year, the Onyx Cinder was rumored for January 1st, but it released on August 1st due to delays in the show, the Skeleton Crew show, and so LEGO had to end up pushing back the show, and the set was subsequently was pushed back with it. Now, this shouldn't be a very good set. I don't expect much from it, but we should get a Mandalorian minifigure alongside a Grogu microfigure, so a nice way for people or 4+ kids to get this set. I don't think there's much going for adult collectors, unless they do include an exclusive variant of Grogu or the Mandalorian. I do believe we could possibly see a new Grogu microscale figure, maybe a new variant with new prints. It's been about 5 years since LEGO introduced the first version of Grogu, so I think it's about time LEGO could potentially include a new Grogu figure. Let me know your thoughts on all of these sets in the comments section below. Let me know if you'll plan on picking any of these up, and if you do find any of these in a store, feel free to let me know on Instagram at @TheBrickReporter, and we can work something out. I'd love to be able to review these sets, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and goodbye.